to see where you're at and if there's the things that you need to improve. Maybe you're already doing this, awesome, but then you'll also become clear of what the benefits are by doing this. So if you are one of those who I know, who are like stuck with working late, or you're like redoing tasks, and you have this like ever expanding to-do list, like every time you strike something out, 10 more things jump on your to-do list, this will be really useful. And once we figure this out, we're also looking at, okay, how can we, like, what do we need to communicate so people care, want to solve a task, and so they also understand exactly what it is that you want. These are really important things. And for those of you guys who stay to the end, I'll send you like the tools and ways to kind of implement this in a very simple way. And if I just send you the tools now, they're not really going to make any sense. So just stick with me to the end, then you'll have the understanding and you'll have the tools, and you can implement these 2 days. So you can actually start building even more creativity and engagement on your team. So what if your team could read your mind? Wouldn't that be awesome? Would it be so nice if you're like, they already know exactly what it is that you want? Well, here's the thing, right? This is me, the chubby little guy in the middle, that's me, one of my first deployments. And something really big hit me at this time. So I'm a bomb disposal officer, right? So I go to places and I pick up bombs out of the office. Out of the ground. I hope they're not in the office. The thing was this, before my deployment, I was overwhelmed, I was stressed, there's so many things to do, and every time I like cross something off my to-do list, there were 10 more assignments that I need to do, and it never seemed to end. My stress levels was high, and it was even so high that once one of my teammates came in crying into my office, and I didn't have energy or mental resources to do anything about it. And I just decided in that moment, I gotta find a way to fix this, because it's unacceptable. That's how a shitty leader does, right? Like someone comes into you, opening up their heart, and you don't have the resources to deal with that. I didn't want to be that person, but I didn't know how to do it. Fast forward a bunch of years, I guess, in the middle of West Africa, I'm approaching a bomb or a suspicious bomb, and something hits me. Well, not the bomb, something other than that hits me. And it's like, why the heck am I so relaxed in this moment? Why am I able to focus, have trust in my team that they're doing their thing, and be so focused and relaxed in this moment? And I'm all alone. When you approach a bomb, your team is behind you. I'm walking out. I'm like, and then it's like, oh shit, I gotta focus on the bomb, actually. I gotta focus on this thing right now, and leave that to the past, and leave that to the future. But I kind of came possessed of this idea. Could I lead my team in the office with the same tactics and tools that I used in the field? And if so, would that take me to a place of lower stress levels and high productivity and a team that worked autonomous? Well, I tried that for myself, and I'm like, holy shit, this works great. And I've tried it with the people we work with now, and it's like, holy shit, it works great. And we tried it with even more people. And holy shit, it works great. And it works great. So that's what we're going to do today. Would that be interesting? Would you want to know what the heck was the difference between being overwhelmed and stressed out to going to being focused, having people do their shit, and me being 100% confident that they'll do their things so I don't have to redo it? Is that useful? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. So there basically are 3 things that we need to communicate all the time. Every day, every task, all the time. And they will make sense to you. I'm going to walk you through them step by step. And then you'll see what happens if you miss one and what happens if you nail all of them. So we P.E.R, right? They kind of attach something like this. And all of them go straight into the tool that I use for delegation, and which I train all the people in Delegation Mastery. And this is the same tool that you will have access to after this training, because without the training, it doesn't make any sense. But this is a super powerful tool that you can use today to make sure you have all of these 3 things in your communication. And if you also join me inside the program, there's a bunch of more things that makes it even more valuable. And yeah, but we're going to focus on the 3 fundamentals. So we got to set up some rules. Basically, the rules, you got to communicate them, because then that gives them the box, And if they have a box, they will have autonomy and freedom within the box. But if there's no box, then they don't know, like, okay, too much freedom is chaos. Too little freedom and it's prison. So we want to be in the middle, the perfect. So then the first question we get asked ourselves, okay, what's the box that we want them to work in? Or maybe we don't want a box. Maybe we want more of the chaos. But either way, that needs to be clear. The other thing is the purpose. And here's where it becomes a bit tricky, because I think most of you talk to the purpose. But I'm not sure that you're talking to the right purpose. It's a bunch of us only talk to the company purpose, like the vision things. But it's a bunch of problems with that. And one of them is that most of us don't give a crap. Like, we don't care about the purpose of the company or the vision. Maybe we do sometimes, but in general, we care about the benefits that we see or the people around us, the team that we work with every day. We want them to have a great time. So we got to be specific about the purpose and make sure there's a why, not only about the why this task is important, but why this task is important for them to solve. What are their benefits? And if you can unlock that, that's big. That's huge. The last part is the end state. Like, what the heck are they going to create? How are they going to change the world? I know, even on a micro level, but how are they going to change the world? Okay. Overwhelming? No? Okay. Awesome. We will look into the details here and we will see how they all kind of match up together. So don't worry about it. Okay. Let's have a look at the end state, right? And how these, as you can see, they kind of, they interconnect. And there's overarching areas. And we're going to look into these types of areas. So, if you start looking at this area first, we have communicated the purpose. We have communicated the end state. So what does that give us? They don't know the rules. They don't know the box they're working in. This is usually people who are like, kind of, they do the right thing, but they break the rules. They break the rules that really matter. So it could be like a marketing team creating an ad, but it goes against like Facebook policy. So you can't use it. Maybe the ad is like, it's like so good. And it's like, it's exactly what you want, but it's breaking this little rule. So whatever they produce is useless. That basically is going to cost you a bunch of money and time. Does it make sense? Okay, awesome. So if we have rules, if we communicate rules and we communicate the end state, but we don't communicate a purpose, we basically get the people who follow the rules. They do the right things, but they do nothing more than the minimum. Like, there's never any innovation. There's no creativity. And if they were to see a huge opportunity for the company, they would probably kind of like look the other way because they know it's going to, they know it's going to be more work for them. And since they don't really care, then why would they? Why should they, right? Next one. Okay, now we're communicating the rules, we're communicating the purpose, but we have failed with the end state. These are the people who really care about it, because they have the purpose, they have the why, and they follow the rules, they know their box, but they're doing the wrong things. In some sense, it's like they've created this ad, and it's up to the policy, it's up to what the company wants, but they don't see it as clearly as you. Maybe the ad is like for the wrong product, something like that, right? It's like, great ad, but it's not the ad we want. It's not like we're not trying to sell that product, but it's within policy, and they're really passionate about it. Maybe they innovated. Maybe they did a really good job with the graphics, but it's still like, I guess we have to redo that one. Is this making sense? Okay, I'm just going to check the comments over here. Okay, so LinkedIn is giving me a bunch of warning messages that things are not working, which is very strange. Okay, well, just let me know if there's any issues and join me on Google Meet the next time if this is still a problem. Okay, Well, for those of you guys who are still with me, we will continue. Okay, perfect. So what happens in the middle, right? Well, there's an exploding cat. I mean, not really. I Googled like mind blown, and the GIF that showed up was this one. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go with it because kind of like it. Because that's what happens. If you go inside the middle, you will have innovation, creativity, ownership on like an unseen level before. And it's that simple, right? Because if you make them care, you make them understand what they're supposed to do, and you understand the rules of the game. Like, that's basically it. It doesn't have to be complicated. Leadership doesn't have to be complicated. I want to run you through another way of doing this so you can kind of see it from another perspective. So in this area, we have the people who, they're working outside the box, right? They don't know the rules of the game. In this area, we have the people who don't give a shit. Like, they're just like, whatever. I'm doing my thing. I'm going to get my paycheck and I'm busting out. Simple. And here are the people who are like really engaged. They're following the rules, but they're also a little bit lost. They're not going in the direction we want them to go. But in the middle, when we zoom in, here's where we find the autonomy, self-managed teams. I will find innovation, trust, ownership, all this, like the good stuff is in here. But you cannot have that without communicating all three aspects. Does this make any sense? Because I know, and some of you guys are like, this is way too simple. Well, yes, it's usually so simple that people come to me and like, it's not going to work. I promise you. You can implement this today and you will see the difference. You will see the reduction in misunderstandings, reduction in complaints about, it doesn't formulate whatever. And you'll see it by the end of the week. So go through this training with me, get the freaking template, implement the template, which it's very simple, and do this. Try it out for a few days and I promise you it's a big deal. People make it complicated because I don't know, but leadership doesn't have to be complicated. It can be super simple, and that's how I want to make it. But I do want to give a caveat, something like that. That it's kind of like a cake, right? If you miss one ingredient, you're pretty much screwed. Or if you put them in the wrong order, or the volume is off. It's like, baking a cake. When I bake a cake, I read the recipe and I'm like, whatever. I can have some more of this, or I'm lacking that. And by the end of it, it's like, I created a brick, not a beautiful cake, right? But when it comes to leadership, this is the recipe you want to follow. You want these three pieces, and you really want them in the right order and communicating in a perfect way. And that is why I have created this beautiful tool for you. Or to be honestly, I created it for myself. Because that's where it started. Now I'm sharing it with you guys because it's really useful. Oh no, we missed it. So basically, I wonder if I could redo this. I got to work on my PowerPoint games. Yeah, sorry about that. But so here's the thing. You maybe you can do this. Maybe you can remove this little guy. Okay, I think you can see this then. Here's the thing. How do you do this now? Okay, you know what to do now. You know you need to communicate the purpose, the end state, the rules. You know that you need to communicate not only the company vision, but you need to communicate something that they really care about. And you have these three things now. Okay, so what I want to give you is this crystal clear delegation tool. It's very simple. And now also the automatic vacuum cleaner just started. Give me a second. I'm just going to turn that off. That's great. I love the automated stuff, but I guess this is bad timing. Yeah, this little guy. But so there we go. Hope that makes sense. Okay, where were we? Yeah, so this tool, right? That's what I'm going to give you. You can access this by two ways. You can either just comment below, or you can go to this link that I'm going to paste in the comments here. If you go to the link, you will also get the training. You'll get in-depth training on how to do this. And this is something that I used to charge a bunch of money for before. But to be honest, I just want to make a really good way to interact with you guys and a really good course, which hopefully will gain you, will sorry, I'm losing my English, but be a way for us to, or kind of gain your trust. And if I gain your trust, maybe we can work together in the future. But this is such a beautiful tool that it's honestly free right now. And it's a training connected to it. Will teach you how to do it and everything. But all you need to do is basically take this template, fill it out, communicate that with your team, and that will be 90% of the job, or 90% of the benefits. Do we have any questions? Okay. Okay, we got one question about the tool. Okay, yeah, I'll show you. It's super simple. So simple that you're probably going to be like, this can't possibly work. Like this. There we go. Okay. So this is it. Super simple. Basically, you have your instructions here. Okay, every time you delegate, use the red box. Go down to the red box. Here's the red box. And look at this. We have the purpose, we have the end state, and we have the rules. You have a bunch of questions here that you use to kind of measure this out or to write it out. You will also have an example, a real live world example down here if you want to use that. So what I do is I copy and paste. I go straight into my Trello board. So when I give someone a task, I write it down over here. I copy paste into my Trello board and it's done. That allows me to know that I've communicated the most important things. And then when you go to the advanced delegation techniques, we have a bunch of other stuff in here. You could play around with that as well. But mainly I use this with my delegation mastery students to really make sure that they can put their team on like automatic for a long time. But this will do most for it. You can figure this out. You can communicate that, and you can communicate that by showing it or however you want to do it. That is great. Okay, what else? Yeah, okay, so let's talk about this. Here's another tool you will get. This probably won't make a bunch of sense right now, but it will make a bunch of sense if you choose to go through the sign up and go into the training. Because then we will also go through how to prioritize to make sure that you only do the things that you are supposed to do and everything else is done by someone else. I hope that makes sense. So basically, we're going to go through how to prioritize your tasks. Once we have prioritized them, so we know the most important things that give you the best results, we're going to be like, okay, which of these should be done by me? Which of these should be done by a teammate? And then which teammate? Who should do this? And we have a bunch of tools to get through that. And then we have a bunch of tools on how to communicate this and how to check the performance of your team and so many good things. But all you need right now is basically this. You can figure this out. And when you see the beauty of this, you'll be coming back for the rest of it. I know that's just how good it is. I feel very confident about that because we just finished one of the trainings, one of the delegation mastery programs, and it's been really good. So, okay, what else do we got? I'm here for you guys. Yeah, literally all the things that we talked about today, the purpose, the rules, and end state, are in this tool. And this tool over here, well, it's this tool here. So it's kind of like if you fill this out and you do that correctly and do it in a good way where you have the understanding of how to do it, you will have communicated the purpose, end state, and rules. Then it's a matter of like, okay, now I have this in text. How do I communicate that the best way? Well, you're going to have to do me inside the program for that. Unless I do some free training, which I might do if you ask me. Anything else? Yeah, I can go back to that. Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's go back to this one, right? Yeah. So what I wanted to visualize here is that if you have, let's say if you communicate the purpose and you communicate the end state, you'll be in this little area. And these are the people who are working outside of your box. Because the box, providing the box, is done within the rules. Remember? So the rules is how we define the box. And that's why this little character is outside of the box. That's what I was trying to say. I know. My PowerPoint skills are not the most amazing, but I'm pretty impressed. I'm also very happy about this cat. There's also an exercise here if you want to go through that with me. You just comment below as well with that stuff, and we could actually run through an exercise the next time or whenever you want to do that. Yeah, okay. Anything else I can help you with? Otherwise, we're probably going to check out today. I would love for you guys. I see LinkedIn. There's a bunch of people on there. I would love for you to give me just a thumbs up so I can see that something is happening. That gives me a little bit of energy to continue this stuff. And Facebook, guys, you're active as always. I love you. Okay, so here's what you gotta do. Go to either the link that I talked about before, that I also lost here somewhere. Oh yeah, so either you go to the link that's in the chat right now, or you comment below or send me a DM and I will send you the tools to make sure you get them. And then I would love to hear your experience with it. So just simple as possible. Send me your experience, send me your wins, send whatever. And that's really a big driving force for me. Okay. I will see you next week. And you can always just follow me on LinkedIn, join me on Instagram, which is fun, very personal, adventures.of.gabo. Adventures of Gabo. Thank you so much, guys. See ya! If I manage to turn this off, which I hope I can. Or maybe not.